Terry Power here. Got a few minutes yet, but I thought I'd check to see that everything was working fine. When I go into the IMG Live, it's not showing that I've got it on live yet. So still showing me 3.5 minutes. So that's okay.
Terry, how's it going?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good, thanks.
Had a few questions today, so
Yeah, that's cool. I'm just opening them up right now. Oh, cool. All right. Let's see.
how have you been?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Did a well written play over the weekend that I auditioned for and went through 3.5 weeks of rehearsal a little over 3 weeks ago. Paused for a couple of weeks because of this Chinese virus thing we were hearing about,
Oh,
and
really?
then they never got back to it until earlier this year. A playwright had called me and said, "Hey, downtown Greensboro, they're going to do a play from several years back." And I said, "Is Chris directing again?" He said, "No, they haven't named a director yet." And I said, "Oh, I'm going to have to audition again? Oh, no."
Oh,
Hoping they just hand me the role. I wouldn't have to. But, oh well. Audition. I got the role back that I wanted, and it was a lot of fun. So,
cool. That's awesome.
but
And it's all over now. Is my
yeah,
Wi-Fi cool?
Sunday we had our last show.
Okay. Cool.
What?
Is my Wi-Fi lagging a lot?
Define a lot. It's just a little, and I don't know that it's you or the
Okay.
platform or I don't know what.
Okay.
But what can we change?
I know. I'm trying to figure out if there's, because I know we can change like the definition of it. Um, I'll change mine to 720p 30 frames per second. And then I'll take out my virtual background. I don't know. Maybe that'll do something. All right. Should we go ahead and go live? And Oh, we are live, aren't we?
Are we?
I think we're live.
Okay.
It
Well,
reminds me, it reminds me of that newscast where that one woman goes, "I so pale," and then the other one goes, "You're live." They have no idea. Well, okay. I noticed that the Restream interface changed quite a bit on my side. Did it also change on yours?
yeah.
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 Um, cool. All right. Well, if anybody isn't in, I saw that you shared at the top of the news feed the invite link. So that's how people can come in, right? If they want to.
Right. I guess they can still go to events and all the other stuff, but I saw that link and I said, let me go ahead and post it. So,
Perfect. Yeah. And I think that'll get people straight in the room with us, that Restream link. Whereas the IMG live link is just to watch us, which is cool if you want. But if you want to come in and join us in the room, go ahead and click that Restream link on the news feed. And I will drop it again in the YouTube chat feed. And you can turn your camera on or off and your mic on or off, but this just gives you the flexibility to join us live if you decide that you want that, if you want to share your screen, whatever you want. So,
yep. If you have a question, you can come in. You can either type it in or you can come on and ask it live. In
very,
3. Well,
very cool. Someday, very soon. Yeah. So what do you think, Terry? Should we dive into questions?
I suppose, unless there's something you want to talk about, Italy banning AI or anything else, news kind of thing. Bard.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of Bard?
Well, I like it for what it does,
Yeah.
but it's not going to replace a search engine for me.
Mm-mm.
I can't put in Chinese food and get any results. It's only good for answering questions
Yeah.
or taking orders, but I mean, not orders for Chinese food. It's just, so it doesn't have the versatility that a basic search engine has.
Yeah.
Extrapolating from a few words what you might want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's nice, you can go to, whether it's Google or Bing, if you type in Mustang, it'll give you an option of a car, a horse, I mean, and then you can go, oh, this is the one I'm looking for, and the chat bots, whether it's Bard or GPT or Bing's GPT, it's, it doesn't do a search. It just does what you ask it to, but you have to ask it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not worried about ChatGPT or any of these others replacing search engines and putting SEOs out of business in that way?
No, because I think if you remember back, like Ask Jeeves
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
was a search engine that was designed for questions.
Yep.
Where can I get a hamburger? Those kind of questions, though, not, what are some relevant keywords for, write me a story about, none of that kind of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
search engines advanced past that. And I don't think they're going to go back to voice search on my phone is better than Bard or ChatGPT if I want to, find something. I find myself in where where's the nearest hotel or how, I can't do a search on it.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be another tool that'll replace search engines anytime soon.
Yeah. And any new cool tool developments, like things that you've discovered since you released your course, I guess, because you gave away some great secrets in your course. Anything since then that you've been excited about?
I've been playing around, but
Yeah.
still what I can and stuff like that. I'm still a fan of mixing and matching them. Getting I use the Zim writer,
Mhm.
Chat GPT, or say, give me 20 long tail relevant keywords, and then writer and say I want articles using these keywords. Use these long tail keywords in articles and stuff like that. So that GPT doesn't give me the quality of articles I want, because it's basically just a that says a word based on what your prompt, and then figures out what word to put after that. Now, what's a good word to put after that, and so on and so forth. So sometimes it seems a little weird because as humans we don't talk like that, and whereas a Zim writer seems to write more articles that sound more like they're written by a human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has the options that Playground gives you in ChatGPT or OpenAI. But
yeah. And where do you stand on, I really don't want Google to find out that I'm using AI versus, it's, I don't really care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I want Google to recognize content I'm putting out is relevant for whatever keywords I'm going after.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't care if they know it's AI or they think it is or they are sure it's not. It doesn't matter to me. So
Yeah.
because I've seen things ranked that I've posted that are purely AI, as well as have written stuff myself that is ranked. So I don't know that it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanna come on live, you can ask the question, vocally, and we can hear you, whether you want to show your face or not. Otherwise, you can just type in a question.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about yourself? Are you worried about search engines knowing you might be using some robot to do some of your writing for you?
Not at all. And it's funny, I've been starting to talk about it with clients and colleagues. And I was really nervous to say, "Oh yeah, I'm responding to some of your emails with ChatGPT, or I'm, doing things with AI." And actually, everyone is like really stoked about it. They don't care. And I was shocked about that. So it's been an interesting thing, and people, I started writing, I said, "Okay, can I write your articles with AI?" And then the CEO of the company was like, "Oh, let me look at that." He was writing blog posts, and I've never had a CEO of a company write a blog post until this. So, it's kinda cool to see. Um, for client stuff, I do like, I gauge their feeling on AI before I publish anything. I'm not doing it by secretively. But for my own stuff, I'm throwing everything out there. I don't care.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
clients, I'll send them an article and tell them we're using a new writer.
Mhm.
Is this um, first of all, is this or something I'm here? But this, and if I have a problem with it, then okay, just so you know, is an AI writer. But we do edit them, and we do look over them, edit them, and stuff like that. But
Yeah. So it looks like we got that question. So is it your best practice to put authors boxes at the beginning or the end of the article? And If so, would you link that to an author's bio page on the website?
Okay, first of all, the bio page, definitely. Just because Google, has preferences that come. Right now, they like to see the word bio, a link to the word bio. Even if it's to a blank page, you still get credit for it. So definitely want a link to a bio of somebody. Now, as far as putting an author box on there, I've got some Google News sites. All of those authors, persona authors, if you will, have author bios that print with any articles that I choose. That's who wrote it. If Janine wrote it, Janine's author box is going to appear there. But if I'm putting an article on Medium or Reddit, I don't put an author box with it. If I'm just putting something on my own, I'm not putting it on there. So it depends on the platform, really, for me. But like I said, with Google News sites, I always an author box.
Yeah.
Lauren?
Yeah, I can't think of a case where I skip it. Yeah, and in this case, this is their own website. So I think especially if it's your own site and you're trying to build your personal brand and you want people to know after they read an article about you, absolutely link to that bio page.
Yeah, and use that bio page to also link to not just that article, but to previous articles, especially if they're relevant to the same topic. So that if they click through to that bio, they also see something else they're interested.
Yeah. And so there's a follow-up question. Even bio, do you mean like putting the word bio in the URL?
Yeah, you can have that in the URL, or you can just have a footer link.
Mm-hmm.
Now the footer link, if this is your own site and you have a bio page, obviously that's where the footer link would go to. But if you have an author box, it serves the same purpose. So either one, just so that anyone who reads and likes your article may want to find out more about you, or again, more information on the same topic.
Yeah. And so Terry, you've been playing around with books quite a bit. Have you played around with authoring or like repurposing blog posts as a Google book or another type of book?
I have created some books that were collections of blog posts.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if any of them are in my name.
Oh.
But they're in my publishing account. So,
Yeah. I think that would be a cool thing.
Because if you are writing a lot of articles, and you have a bio page, obviously, and you want to add to it, go to books.google.com, collect some of those articles, especially if they're in the same niche. And, I don't know what the niche is, but say maybe it's SEO, maybe it's gardening, I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with publishing your own book collection of thoughts on gardening or something like that. You can, put it on Google Books, make it 99 cents if you want. If you're not trying to, get wealthy with it, but you just want to add that so on your bio, it also lists your books that are, available on Google Books.
Mm-hmm.
And they will also, depending on if you title them instead of thoughts on gardening, if it's, I don't know, gardening ideas and tips, my thoughts. So the keyword is the leading part of the title. It can rank. So if someone's looking up gardening tips, not only do they have a chance of finding your articles on gardening tips, they can find your book on gardening tips as well as your website and articles within it. So
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. All right. And you have a thank you for your advice. So that's great. Terry's always given great advice and really generous. You're always generous with your knowledge, Terry.
hey, I doubt the person's competing with me.
Yeah, that's a great
You know,
point. Yeah.
it's not gonna take any money out of my pocket, and it will, maybe put a karma point or two somewhere down the road. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
but
Cool. Well, should we get to some of the questions that the community has been asking um, on your thread before the post?
yeah, yeah, and still, anybody who's listening, if you want to post a question, we're gonna answer some that were posted online earlier, but you can go ahead and get a question in if you want.
For sure. Yeah, and you can still join us if you want at the top of the news feed. That link is there. Cool. So Chris asked about let's see, about how to silo or internal link a national home service company for local searches. And the example he gave was a national plumbing company and asked, would you give non-geo-specific service pages and then a location hub or a directory page that shows all the states and cities you serve and then create a service-only page for each city? Or, you know, what would you do and how would you structure it?
That's a good question because a lot of people wonder about that, especially if they go on YouTube and they find 10 different people explaining 10 different ways to set something like this up. But whether it's tiered, whether it's siloed, internal linking, however you want to call it, I won't tell you that this is the only way to do it. But what I do is obviously you're going to have a home page, and that's for your brand, and we'll link to the other pages. But then a services page, one page that just talks about all the services you offer. With plumbing, okay, you'll do new water heater installations, you'll do repairs of stuff, you'll do maintenance of stuff, you'll do, installing a new shop. Maybe you do new home, plumbing, laying the plumbing for new construction, whatever. A list of all your services with no geo of them. These we offer. Then a directory page of where we offer services. So we offer in Houston and Dallas, and then if you're just in Texas, if you're all over the country, then you've got a lot of states or cities located. Then I would have a page, a geo-based service page for water heater repair in Dallas, and one for plumbing installation in Austin, and so on and so forth. And your directory page, it has all these cities, towns linked to those geo service pages. So you go, oh, they're in Houston, good. Oh, and then in Houston they do water heaters, they do et cetera, et cetera. And in Austin they do this, and then your service page, remember that is just a list of all your services, of course, has links to that directory page. Here's all our services. By the way, here is where we operate, and a list of cities. On those individual pages are Dallas hot water heater installation. There's a link back to that list of services, because not only do we do that, what else do? We do all this stuff. So your internal linking, everything is just a couple steps away. Now, your home page, I would link to my list of services, and I would link to my list of locations. I wouldn't have links from my home page to every one of those, 200 cities and services combination pages, because anybody in, I don't know, in Arlington, Texas, that wants some plumbing work done, you don't care that they don't need to go to your homepage. You want them to either go to your water heater place pages or your page that shows you're in Arlington, Texas, and from there they can go to those geo-specific pages. So the internal linking, that's where you want to use your keywords, or your key long tail keywords, probably for many of them, so that Google, as well as the human searching, and even the AIs out there that are helping somebody else write an article about plumbing, know how to get to the pages that are specific for the search. So if it's just somebody in Dallas and they just type in water heater repair, they've got that service page that shows, oh, we do water heater repair. And there's a link there to show, and we do it in Dallas. Hey, where are you? Okay, cool. But you don't care if they go to the homepage and read the about us or the author bio or any of that stuff. They just want to get their water heater is leaking. They don't have time to go read all that. And if they go to your homepage and go, I don't see a number for Dallas water heater, bounce. Go find some place that has it. So you want them to go to your water heater repair page for that. So,
yeah.
But yeah, set it up. A lot of internal links, and internal links are wonderful. Use anchor text on them so that they'll get specifically what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, you want to go from those cities to the city service pages. From the services, you want to go to the cities, and from the specific, city and service page, I'd want to go back to the services. So they can check out easily what else we do in Dallas or wherever. It may be the same thing everywhere, but they won't be duplicate pages because Fort Worth is not the same thing as Austin. So don't worry about them being duplicates. But I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I think that, and really, truly, I think this is one that people say, really, really, I don't have to worry about duplicates as long as I just search and replace the city name. Is that how
or
you
the
feel?
service, if it's if
right.
it applies
Yeah.
to that, depending on because to rank for Dallas hot water heater repair, you've got to be, Google's got to realize you're relevant for hot water repeater and you're relevant for Dallas.
Yeah.
So both of those can be, searched and replaced with a different city or a different service. But either of those that are replaced, it's no longer, duplicate content. So.
Yeah.
And thanks to like Midjourney and DALL-E, you can have unique images everywhere that are all original, unique. You don't have to worry about, Getty Images or anybody coming after you because you're using somebody else's image.
Yeah.
And I guess if you're worried about duplicate content, you can throw any of those in one of those AIs and see, rewrite this for me.
Yeah, it's a brave new world.
And don't worry about using AI for writing your stuff. Just write good stuff. Stuff that'll get the conversions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have a question now about backlinks and niche relevance. So if you want, we can use the Dallas plumber, or we can go to another completely different area. But is it true that Google takes into account the niche of the website or the page, or are they only looking at the anchor text?
It's a good question. I'm going to give you my opinion, but if you want to know for certain, I'd say get with Kyle and put together a test on it.
Yeah.
Because Google's, they update that algorithm and they'll say, oh, we're doing a such and such update or a such and such update. And we don't know exactly what they're changing. And maybe this is one of the things they're changing. So, but in my opinion, there's no such thing as a bad link. There's some links from bad neighborhoods, but Google dismisses them, so they're not really bad to you. But I'm more concerned with the relevancy of the anchor text. I'd like to have the page itself be relevant, but I don't think it hurts if it's not. I think it can help maybe. I don't think it hurts if it's not, if that makes sense. So, So like I was talking with the internal linking, anchor text matters, and especially on backlinks, even more so, I think, than internal.
Yeah.
So, let's face it, most of the backlinks you build or buy or submit, any of that stuff, are not links you probably expect humans are going to follow to get to your page. You're putting them there so you have backlinks, not because you think somebody's going to read that page and then want to read yours, right? So the backlinks are there for Google and for the bots to follow, to show your page is more relevant for whatever that anchor text is. And that's the main reason I don't worry about the source of the links as much.
Yeah. I like that way of thinking about it. It's good, better, best, not bad, good, better.
Right.
Or neutral,
I've
good,
got,
better.
I got some good links about a week and a half ago from Wikipedia.
Nice.
And if you've ever been on Wikipedia, there may be entire articles about things, but all you get is few words, and you want it to be on a page out, the niche. But I don't think you'd refuse if it was on golf and you were writing about dogs. I mean, I don't know that it would stay long on Wikipedia, but I mean, just using that as a weird example, get the anchor text you want, and I think that'll serve you well.
Yeah. Excellent. And on the note of anchor text, how worried are you about variety and people saying make sure you have a lot on your brand name and a lot of click here and all of that, or you go straight in for the keywords that you're trying to rank for?
Well, I think backlinks, I think diversity matters, but I think diversity matters on where the links are pointing to.
Yeah.
Like not having every link you build be going to your homepage or to your water heater repair page. Now, spread those links around. You want links to, maybe you don't want links to all your pages because nobody cares about your about page, your privacy policy, or your terms of service. You don't need to build links to those. But all of your pages from which you expect to get conversions should have some links. Because if you're not going to link to them, why should Google? I mean, you're putting them together if you don't care enough to have a link to them, somewhere. So, so that anchor text will vary because your water heater repair page is not going to say, plumbing installation. Your plumbing installation page is where that's going to. Yeah. So, like I said, I want to see diversity in those anchor text because they're going to different pages. Yep. I don't ever bother anymore with click here, any of that. Some of the pages I build that are wearing a darker hat, say, may have some click here's in them, and when it's spun up content and not it's not there for human consumption, but
Yeah. Okay, nice. That's great. We have another one of our members has an affiliate site and it got hit. And in March, I think 80 to 90% of their traffic just vanished. And
that's
they
always
weren't,
fun.
oh gosh, they weren't cloaking links. They weren't building links for at least a couple years. Decent content. We're using some of Kyle's EEAT recommendations, and you know, there's nothing going on that's sketchy. Where should they look? What should they do, and how should they recover from this?
Well, there's a few different possibilities. One of them is an update,
Mm.
and those can be, a month long turmoil. Google just March updates over, and whenever those major updates is over, it can be 2 weeks before you see things settle back down. So if it hasn't been 2 weeks, that's for that. Just so if it's not been a month, I want to say don't worry about it. But if it's money, you're not getting, your money probably because of it. Obviously, you're going to worry about it.
Yeah.
If it's because of a Google update. There's also possibilities of, anything technical. Did something change with the hosting or with, were any changes made to somebody said, oh, what happens if I no index this? Or, things like that. I don't know. You didn't do any link building or stuff like that. Did you change anything else as far as a design or URL structures, anything like that? That's a possibility. Obviously, there's a possibility in just a change in your buyers. Obviously, if it was a seasonal thing, you'd already be aware of it because you said you'd had the site for years. So you'd know that, okay, it tails off a little bit before it kicks back up as warm weather gets here or something like that. But also there are sometimes changes that are due to outside forces, a new trend coming, surpassing whatever trend you were riding on, a new better, a better mousetrap kind of thing, and now your mousetrap's not as in favor. Something like that's always possible. If you can look in your logs and see if traffic has dropped just from mobile devices or just from desktop or something like that, that can sometimes be a clue. But if you can't see any changes that you made on your page, and you don't notice your competitors that went up, went down, have done something new that Google just loves, and so that pushes you down by default. If you can't see any of that, then I'd wait it out a couple weeks. In that meantime, you can be preparing new content, authority stuff that you want to put in there, but I wouldn't put it there yet. I'd wait and see if it bounces back, then it was Google's change, not anything you were doing or anything that some outside force had done to your site.
Yeah. Ugh, that hurts. On that note, we had a member ask about the March update. Any reactions, thoughts?
I didn't have any pages that were hurt by it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I had a couple that were helped considerably, but for the most part, not much at all. So I don't know for sure what what on page parts it was targeting, if any, or whether it was just a time to reshuffle the cards and check again if everybody's ranked.
Mhm.
And if it's something like that, then the sites that got hit just have to wait until Google gets a chance to check them again and go, oh, okay, that's still like they were, put them back where they were. But Google has said that it is. That doesn't mean that everything's back to normal yet. It's just like if grandma lives on the other side of the hill, and just keep going over there yet. Well, we're over the hill now. It's all downhill. You're still not there, but okay, we'll be there soon. So Google says, they're over the hump or hill, but we're not on yet. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I also wonder if, is it across the board that, everything went away 80, 90% evenly, or maybe like, there were a few pages or keywords that were getting the lion's share of traffic and those went away, or, I'd be curious about that.
Yeah. It's hard to be specific without knowing specifics.
Yeah.
But I said, I check, make sure there's no technical things that, somebody helping out switch something off or on that they shouldn't have, or any, somebody decided to, change the colors of the page and also did something else or changed the URL in there.
Yeah.
But like Lauren said, check that it's not, if it's across the board, that's a different reason than if it's just a couple categories or a couple pages or down, even if they were your best pages at the time, But yeah, if you've instituted some of Kyle's suggestions, but not all, you can have everything ready to go and hope, in a couple weeks it bounces back, and then you can make any other changes to finish that up and hopefully see a good push from having done that.
Yeah. I'm also noticing, number 3 ranking isn't the same as it used to be in a lot of cases. I feel like I used to get clicks for, in that 3, 4 position, and now it's like I'm on page 2. It's brutal out there.
It is getting harder and harder for people. It's effort anymore. And Google takes the top 3 spots so many times.
Yeah.
And or they use them themselves, and suddenly you go, I'm number 2, but I've got to scroll to even page,
Yeah.
because they put a people also ask up there and or something, have some ads, the number 1, and then some other block of something before they ever get to 2. You're like, come on, I got up to 2 and nobody's even seeing it. But,
Oh, yeah. So we have a new question here. What's your opinion on using AI content writers specifically for creating long form content for affiliate products? Do you use it? If so, what editing software do you use to fine tune so that things sound more human? And maybe we'll add, what are some tricks that you have to get long form content out of these tools?
I do use AI for long form content,
Mhm.
mostly the Zim Writer software.
Mhm.
I'm glad when it came on sale, it came on sale on some Saturday, and a member of one of my groups said, "Hey, you should check this out." And I was like, "It's Saturday. I'm not worrying about it. I'll watch it a little bit." And I watched and was fascinated. So don't get me wrong, I didn't buy the lifetime because I don't know of a software out there that in 2 years is going to be top of the barrel anymore,
Mhm.
But I got an article earlier this evening. I punched in some uh, long tail keywords and got a 3,000 word article. Um, in fact, on enhancing your internal linking structures. But and I went into it and edited it with Notepad++ and made very few changes.
Yeah.
I use, because I may be wrong about this, but I think in general, consumers' reading patterns have gotten to where they want to see paragraphs of 3 or 4 sentences max.
Yeah.
They want little, they want tweet after tweet basically, instead of, a long paragraph or anything like that. So I always have my long articles written, when I have the option, of in the format of James Patterson, the author,
That's a
who's
good one.
one of the great author. Not that he writes necessarily great books, but one of the most prolific authors out there. I don't know how many millions he's made, but he's written tons of books, and all of them are just short paragraphs, because he's understood that's the way people read ebooks now.
Yeah.
They want to see those short, and so I get a lot of short paragraphs, and most of the editing I have to do with any of the articles I get from that software have to do with capitalization. I'll find, for instance, that it's capital S, lowercase e, and O with SEO sometimes. And that's, find and replace stuff, not a big deal. I glance through and I go, oh, well, they didn't, if I mentioned AI, perhaps the I is not capitalized, and I would like it to be, that kind of thing. But it doesn't require much. If you've had writers in the past and you had a good one, I think that should now be your editor. And you should let AI supply all the content, and just, instead of having that person who was a good writer, they know what you like, let them do your editing for you.
Yeah.
So if you can, put them in charge of your entire content creation system, and either instruct them or show them how to get from an AI what you want, and then edit it to what they already know they could have put out themselves, but they couldn't put it out as quickly. So instead of them taking the time to write a 3,000 word article, they could have edited 5 of them in that time.
Yeah. How is Zim?
Most good writers are quick, so.
Yeah. How is ZimWriter on, like, how is the broadness of knowledge? Like, if you have a niche that people don't, there's not a lot on it. Are they, I don't know what that training set is for ZimWriter.
It uses OpenAI's Playground.
Okay.
And the API. So if you have asked for and gotten an API for GPT-4, it'll use that, or GPT 3.5, whichever API you put in. For ZimWriter, you pay, I don't know, less than $10 a month.
Yeah.
But you pay for the API. You pay OpenAI for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, I don't want to spend more than $25 a month if you want, or $2,500 a month, whatever you want to set it at. Generally set it at a small amount and find out if you need more than that. No sense setting it at $50 and going, well, I don't need $50. But not that they'll charge you the 50. I mean, they charge it based on usage.
Mm-hmm.
So if you set it at $100, but you only use $20 worth, it's not going to cost you $100. But I would think you would quickly find out what your usage is, And then I think your usage will creep up as you realize, hey, I'm getting some good content out of here. I can show you an article that I got with ZoomWriter.
Ooh, yeah,
I've
let's
got a
do
folder
that.
where
Yeah.
I've gone in.
Yeah, I'd be really
Let's see, how about, okay, this is one that a topic that a lot of people wouldn't know anything about. Open up and then figure out how to share this on my. I do have an option here on their screen.
Okay, yeah, it should be underneath the screen, and then it will pop up before you share it with everyone. So you have a second to
Yeah.
make
Okay,
sure
this
you
is the one I want to share. Now, this is the title of this article is Cloud Managed Networks.
Okay.
So not a topic that a lot of people are writing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is for a company. It's a client, so please don't mess up my client here. I don't expect you to, but so cloud managed networks from Mako Networks. And they talk about Mako Networks. I'm assuming they get that information from their websites.
Yeah.
And then some of the features of those. The reason you want their distributed network versus somebody else because of the scalability versus Cisco, which it doesn't scale as much, and I know nobody cares about that. But anyway, they do a good job with that. Then they talk about the advantages of cloud integration, ease of use and setup. I didn't feed them anything of this. I only gave them the title.
Wow.
I did tweak it a little bit, but not hardly. Then the benefit of a small business having it. Here it was uptime, reliability, cost efficiency, service and support, some alternatives. And then, at the end of the day, look no further than them, your one-stop shop for all your networking needs.
Scary good.
No, and I'll tell you, I took that and I made a PDF and put the PDF on SlideShare and got it ranking.
Amazing.
And I added a link, anchor text link in it. But yeah, lots of good. I got a new client last week. Technically not a new client, but a client I've had for a while who's opening a new business, slightly different business.
Mm-hmm.
So I had them write a bunch of articles for that, all in the 1,500 to 2,000 words range. I haven't used them all yet, but I've used them. And see if I know one other. Maybe I can show you one on because they have an option where they will write what they call a local SEO buffet, I think they call it.
Oh.
I know it sounds weird, but what it is it'll have a collection of stuff. You give them the niche the business is in, the name of the business, services it provides, cities it provides, and it'll combine them all together and give you several different things that you can use to post on, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, your GBP, LinkedIn posts, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
They're pretty cool. I don't know what I call this. No. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can't do that.
Yeah, we could maybe next time we could start with that. That would be really cool as a follow-up to Chris's question, maybe.
But yeah, it's real neat the way they do it, because you can, like I said, you'll have small snippets, longer ones, hashtags, stuff like that. So you get
Wow.
a variety of possible things you could use.
Mhm. Very cool.
But I can't find one right now. So
That's okay. Yeah. So we have one more question, and it's from Jeff, and he was talking about he hears that Google ranks pages, not sites. But then you have some people who build a massive amount of topical authority and they cover everything on a topic. But then there are other people who say remove old content. And you responded that you're going to talk about, or you were open to talking about, how you focus in order to get rankings. Would you be willing to elaborate on that and share?
well, first of all, Jeff, yes, Google ranks pages, not websites, which is one of the reasons Amazon has 1 million pages. Because just saying go to Amazon to buy it wouldn't be real helpful. You already know you can go to Amazon to buy it. But if what you're trying to buy is a size 11 wingtip shoe, you don't want to have to go through all those steps. You just want to know which page on Amazon has those size 11 black wingtips. And Google will tell you that if you put that in as a keyword search. That also means that if you're not Amazon and you sell size 11 black and white wingtip shoes, you've got a good shot of beating Amazon, because it's you focused on that page and Amazon focused on their page for that, because they've got another 1 million pages they've got to also spread their money, their resources on. So, so yeah, they rank web pages. Another reason you don't really care about ranking your homepage, probably. But the more authority you can get to those pages, the better, the easier it is to rank them.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Jeff mentioned that Corey uses what he calls topical authority articles and stuff to build up the authority of a page, which is all well and good. But that's just one possible way. Building the authority of a page can be effective, but it's more of a long-term strategy. You're not going to build that up quick, even if you put out 100 AI written articles a day. It's still going to take time.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're looking at quick traffic and conversions, then you focus on those pages that are already ranking for you. You can, and that doesn't mean you get rid of the other pages. You can improve the other pages and get internal links from them to help those pages that rank. You can tweak those pages that rank, add content, whether it's videos, infographics, whatever the competitors are doing. Do what Google is already rewarding. So it really depends on the strategy you use. Going to depend on whether your focus is going to be on getting those traffic and conversions right now, or getting better, in theory, better traffic and conversions in the third quarter, and spend this next 2 quarters building up that authority. And some people are better at dealing with delayed gratification than others. So maybe it's a personal thing, or maybe it's a business plan thing. But either way, you need to decide what the focus is going to be, whether you want to build out authority, which you build out over time, or whether you want to boost up those pages that are ranking well, while at the same time creating new pages around that can rank for longer tails and variations on that keyword, based on obviously keyword research will tell you what you want to do. But yeah, it's going to depend on your focus and on the resources you have, which way you want to take. You can rank stuff either way, provided obviously you optimize those pages for those keywords and stuff like that. But if you want, and I won't recommend this, but if you want to go completely white hat, then just focus on delivering the best experience to any visitors that happen to stumble by, which is how I picture white hat more than anything else, because, but I don't want to wait on people to stumble by. I want to, get right in their face when they're looking for, my keywords. So, but I hope that sort of answers your question. Even though the answer is you can do it several different ways. But the fact is that you can. If you look at your competitors, obviously they're not all doing the same thing. And some of them will have a page that ranks well for that size 11 shoe. And some of them will have pages that rank well for all sorts of shoes. But if you're just competing for that one particular style or size of shoe, it doesn't matter that any competitors that are also ranking for something else, be it a dog collar or a pizza or a different kind of shoe, because it's those pages that are ranking, not their whole domain.
Yeah.
So always start with what the competition's doing. The people that are ranking well are doing something that Google likes. So you want to emulate what they're doing that Google likes. Mm-hmm. So do your keyword research, do your competitor research, and then decide, okay, we have the resources to build a big authority page, but it's going to take a while. And that means, more resources and less immediate, return. Or, hey, we've got these 3 pages are ranking well. Let's just push them, get that return, and then focus on spreading out, getting more supporting content and or authority stuff as you go.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, if it's a client's page, then, you can bring that stuff to them and say, here's the way we can do this. And, if it's their resources, but either way can get you to the top. Just remember, optimize that page better than the competitor.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Terry, we got through the questions. It seems right on time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And I'm speaking for Lauren now too. If you have questions, and there's not a Ask the Experts going on this week or something, you can message one of us, message Kyle, message, whoever you have some contact with on IMG, reach out and say, hey, I'm trying this, but it's not working, or I'm trying this and it's working great. Reach those ones out to me, especially. But
yeah,
but that's the beauty of this community, and being a part of this community is there are people willing to help you out and willing to share their things they do that mess up or the things they do that go well, and hopefully you feel free to do the same. Go in and say, hey, Lauren posts, hey, what are you doing great? What happened great this week, or what'd you learn the past week or stuff? And let people know.
Yeah.
Because they may need that inspiration that, oh, that's good. I'm glad to know somebody just got to page 1 for something they've been working on, 8 months, because I'm still not there or whatever. So a lot of times just you saying, sharing a success or a failure that you then figured out, things like that, you don't know about what you're saving somebody else's butt, or just, saving their anxiety of them going, oh, good, it really does work. Okay. And
True. Yeah.
so,
Cool.
and go check out the new course on what's it called, UX, on usability,
Yep.
um,
The UX of
design
SEO.
usability.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't checked that one out yet. I'm excited. So,
Yeah, I read the description. I haven't got into it yet. I just recently finished, the AI forum.
Yep.
I'm going through all of those.
Cool.
There's good information in there too. So
Yeah. So much. Yeah. Well, I've got to run. I've got a meeting with South Korea right now. So,
I hope it's South Korea.
yeah. But
All right.
Gary, it was great to see you. I'm glad your play went well.
All right. Yeah, it did. Thanks.
Cool.
And you take care, and I'll see you online.
Great. See you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye.